very good to have you with us.
Thank you.
So, as a dentist, are numbers important at all?
Numbers as such, they are important. Dentists, each of us got 32 teeth, but they're all very symmetrical as such. We have 8 on the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, all very symmetrical, 8 on each side. Then we can go very microscopic, because in dentistry the margin of error is very, very minimal. We work down to microns. 1 micron is a millionth of a millimeter.
Have you ever had a case you were working on, say a surgery, where a number was really important?
Absolutely. I remember a time when I was I do a lot of surgery or implant work, especially for the, say, on the lower jaw, where we have a nerve supplying the lip and the tongue as well as the teeth. Last time I planted accurately, we're within a range of 0.5 of a millimeter before it hit the nerve. If I go more than that, the patient will not have any sensation of the lip for the rest of her life. So in that sense, we have to be very accurate.
At FCC this week, we're looking at subtraction as part of our still counting series.
Right.
So how is subtraction important to a dentist?
A lot of people think that pain is associated with dentists. Dentists always take teeth out. We don't. My job is to restore what is damaged. My job is to renovate what is missing. But there are times when we have to unavoidably remove certain structures, decay structures, or even a very, very damaged tooth that it's beyond salvation, then we have to remove them. Why do we do that? It's in order to preserve the health of, say, the teeth, or the welfare of the teeth. Sometimes we have to remove something for the benefit of all.
Do you see the same principle take place in the church?
There will be natural, we call it natural selection, but I think the subtraction aspect is not done by individuals, definitely not the leadership of a church. It's done by God. Jesus said in the Gospel of John, Jesus said, "I am the true vine, you are the branches. And my Father cuts off any branches that does not bear fruit." Now that's the difficult bit. But the even more difficult bit is that for those branches that does bear fruit, He prunes. That is a long drain process. I think the initiator would be God. But what's the purpose? Why do we subtract? Why does He prunes? It follows on in that passage is that by pruning, so that the whole vine would become more fruitful. Now, for a vineyard to have fruitful, nice grapes, nice wine, that's great. For a church to be built up, to become more fruitful, that's serving God's purpose. That's even more important as well.
Can you see some of the ways that God has, some specific ways that God has brought subtraction, either to individuals or to FCC as a whole?
Sometimes God may take some of us away from our church family. He planted in specifically for His purpose elsewhere. No matter how sad we may feel that person or that group of people leaving us, but if they follow God's direction, wherever they go, as long as they're fulfilling God's plan, I think that's a key. But on personal level, throughout this period of time, on other issues like, for example, Yvonne has been diagnosed with breast cancer 5 years ago. Her health been taken away from her. On face level, nobody wants it. I don't wish it on anybody at all. But looking back, Yvonne told me that this is a time when God is, or she is drawn closer to God through this period. And other people are actually drawn closer to God through her suffering as such. So in the sense that when God takes away certain things from us, He has a purpose. We have to believe in that. And probably recall her, she shared this a couple of weeks ago about God giving her this particular verse over 11 times throughout her illnesses. That's from Jeremiah 29, verse 11. God has a plan. God, He knows, well, He has a plan for each one of us. The plan not to harm us, but to give us a hope in the future. We need to bank on those promises from God on that. So on the face value, subtraction may not be that pleasant, but if we look ahead and hang in there, we can see result, we can see reward, we can see harvest out of that.
What would you say to people who are experiencing God's subtraction?
For those of us who are actually going through this pruning process at the moment, the only thing I can say that is that please do hang in there. Because again, in Hebrews, God said, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. However, for those who persevere, they will produce a harvest of righteousness and peace. I would like to have a life of right relationship with God. I would like to have a life of peace with God. So these are the two things we need to bank on. Just hang in there. God has a purpose in whatever He does. Despite whatever subtraction or things that God has taken away from us, there would be something good that come out from it.